Alright, this is a Kingpin spindle off of a 521. Anyway, this is the lock bolt that holds the Kingpin in. And basically it's a dowel with an offset screw on it and a taper there. And it pulls in and locks the Kingpin. Anyway, it's usually not too hard to get these out, although the first set of Kingpins I replaced on one of the trucks, oh man, I fought with those things. I took out the other lock bolt on the other one, and it really wasn't that bad. What I'm going to do here is, I've already got the nut and the washer off. If you think you're going to have a problem with this, put some penetrating oil on it. A day or two in advance kind of thing. So anyway, I just want to thread that nut back on just a little bit, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it. I've got a drift here that fits inside there without going on the threads. I don't want one so big that it's going to damage the threads. I could tap right on the nut. That might damage the nut threads, stuff like that. It's kind of a moot point anyway, because you always get one of these you get the lock bolts new in the kit. It's the lock bolt that holds the lower fulcrum pin down at the bottom of the Kingpin that's non-existent anymore. So anyway, we'll see how easy this comes out. Oh yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Which kind of I was expecting it to come out fairly easy, because these things were so caked with grease. Oh my god. Alright, so now that that's off, we'll move on to see if we can get the Kingpins pulled out. Okay. Now, I did a rebuild, Kingpin rebuild thread several years ago. I'm going to basically go through and do it again while I'm rebuilding these and see how it comes out. Now, this top right here, a piece of cake to get in, it's already popped out. I've hit these with the sandblaster enough to get the crap off. So basically you got to take these dust caps out, and since this one is already no problem, that grease is so hard and caked, it is not doing its job. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's a worn out Kingpin. Grease got put in well after the wear was already pathetic. Alright, this is the bottom one. Now, I'm going to try to do this in such a way that this can get done on the vehicle. So this will be a bit more challenging to do this if it was on the rig. Now, a couple of options here. This one's kind of sticking out too, so I'm expecting this one to pop out easy as well. We'll see on the next spindle that they'll be a whole lot harder, and there's a couple different ways to do it. You can drill a hole, put a screw in, and let the screw pull it out. Tried that before, not sure, I don't remember how well that worked, but you could also just take a chisel and just cut right across them. So we may try a couple of different ways on the other one. There we go. And again, more of that caked, nasty ass grease. Oh. Alright, I started this once already, and it stopped, and I didn't realize it because the card in it said it was too slow. Anyway, it's not. It's class 10. Just wasn't plugged in well. Anyway, basically what we're trying to do here is go through and replace the Kingpins, and basically just updated information from a thread I did a couple years ago. I've got it turned upside down in the vise here. There's a good 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch between the top of the pin down here and the top of the spindle. So that way I can at least get that started in the push. Trying to figure out a way to do this on the car. And I think I might have something that'll work here. We'll see as it goes. I'll do this first run of videos with it the first time I go through on this spindle. I may enhance them a little bit, redo them, whatever on the other one. Anyway, it's upside down. This area right here is where the steering arm went with the little lock plate on it there. So then basically what I did was I took a harmonic balancer here. There'll be pictures for this too, I think, but it is a performance tool W151P. And what I did was I laid the plate on here, put it roughly in the center and marked either side, and then took a die grinder and opened the holes up a little bit so that the bolts that came out of here will fit in here. So what we're going to do, I got a couple washers here too. We're going to hold this onto the bottom of the spindle with the bolts, because if they're strong enough to hold the steering arm, they are definitely strong enough to hold to push the Kingpin out, provided this actually works the way I'm thinking it will. Now what I'm doing here is I'm checking. I want to make sure that this is fairly level with the because I want the bolt in the center to push straight down. I don't want it to push off at an angle, so I want to make sure that's fairly close to level there. Now I'm going to put some grease on these threads right here, because there's a chance if that Kingpin is locked in there, and it doesn't lock to the outside, that's where the bushings is, that's where it pivots, it locks to this centerpiece. So I want to make sure that this has all the help it can get in breaking that loose, because the first set I did years ago on a 521, they oh man, I had a 2-pound sledgehammer and I was just hammering on that thing bad. Now I'm going to back these back out just a bit more so I get a little bit more bite on that middle one. I've still got plenty. I've got at least 3/8 of an inch of the other bolts in there. And we'll line it up here, get it fairly close to center there. And if this is too much of a bother, I may cheat and use the impact wrench, 3/4. Cover up the grease so we don't get any contamination in there. Now let's see if we can now, so I have them out of the car. I could easily put them in the vise or in the press. Basically, I'm trying to come up with a way for guys to be able to do this. Oh boy, that's twisting good. For guys to be able to do this with a fairly inexpensive tool, and I think it started moving because oh, it did. Yeah, that's it's pulling against here. It's bending the spindle right here. So I really actually kind of need it to pull against here. So we're gonna restart the video here. I'm gonna add a little heat to that center and see if it'll pop loose with that pressure on it.